Now, Dr. Mahathir isn't just Malaysia's longest-serving prime minister. Dr. M, as he's known, also turns 100 years old today. Now, he's been transformational, the father of modernization, industrial Malaysia. He's also been divisive, railing against the West, as you just heard, defying the IMF, championing Asian values, and inspiring the developing world. And Dr. M is still shaping debates about governance, development, as well as race relations, as CNBC's JP Ong has been finding out. Good morning.
Good morning, Martin. And it's a big feat already to turn 100 years old. But you're also talking about someone who's regarded as arguably the most influential Malaysian politician in that country's history. And for good reason, because he is, as you mentioned, called the father of modernization. Take a look at this one chart just to show how far Malaysia actually went in his first 22 years as prime minister between 1981 to 2003. And you'll see that Malaysia's GDP per capita jumped up from less than $1,000 per person to about $4,000 during this time. And again, this was part of the transformative actions that he enacted to try and modernize Malaysia's economy. Among them, trying to shift away from heavy government spending and letting the private sector drive more of the growth, cutting down the government's debt significantly, and also fostering what is called a Look East policy, which depended on Japan as a role model to foster more investments and also foster more industrialization, which led to this spectacular growth. He then pivoted in 1991 towards what was called Wawasan 2020 or Vision 2020, where he aimed for Malaysia to achieve high industrialized nation status by 2020, something which he then later belatedly said was something that Malaysia fell short of. Now, we also know that he steered Malaysia through one of their worst times during the Asian financial crisis. And it was this time when we started to see Mahathir Mohamad become a little bit more controversial as well, Martin, because he did issue and turn down offers from the IMF and external parties for debt. He actually enacted very controversial capital controls during that time and pegged the ringgit and also lashed out at foreign investors whom he blamed and who speculated and whom he blamed for this particular decline. Now, he did step down in 2003, but came back in 2018 after the 1MDB scandal to become prime minister at 92 years of age, but was then ousted in 2020 when his coalition actually was dissolved during that time. He still remains quite active, though, in social media. By last count, we did see that his influence has not waned. He still has about 1.3 million followers on X or Twitter, as we've noted, and this is where he has been rather active, actually, in at least speaking about what Malaysia's future should look like and some of his views that are both progressive and also a bit divisive, as was mentioned a while ago. And there's really not much more to say, but happy birthday, Dr. Mahathir Mohamad.
Yeah,
Martin.
But I have to say, though, and yeah, this is true, right? Many happy returns. But among his probably most controversial policies is affirmative action. How has that changed or not over the years?
Well, it seems that this is still going to be a cornerstone or a landmark, at least. And I think the fact that he issued this and actually pushed for this very vociferously, we have to remember before he became Prime Minister, Martin, he was the Minister of Education as well, where he started to lay out some of the foundations of the affirmative action for Malays. And some do argue that it really didn't do much to uplift and to help and to uplift the plight and the mentality of Malaysians as he actually has laid out before. So again, and has raised a lot of controversy because we know that some of the minority populations, the Chinese and the Indian populations in Malaysia, they haven't been as happy with regards to some of the impediments and what was viewed as some of the unfair advantages that they viewed the ethnic Malays got. So again, this is now going to be something very difficult to change, because if you go against the affirmative action policies, you might actually lose your political clout and status. So again, it's the tone he set actually for Malaysian politics and why this is so central now to keeping your political power there.